Welcome to the After the Show movie podcast, brought to you by your hosts Ace Scully and Sid Talk. We're addicted to movies. Are you? Sid Talk, I do not want you monkeying around on this podcast.
I'll pass on the humor on that one.
That's like the humor from this movie.
Is that a foreshadowing of what you thought about it?
Yes.
Monkey around. I get it.
You get it? Pretty good. It took me all week to think of that. All right, so what's going on before the after the show?
Before the after the show discussion? Before the after the show discussion was it's very minimal. You made tea. I made noodles. You ate some plant-based bacon.
Plant-based bacon sandwich.
I checked the seedlings in the dining room because I'm growing seedlings in the dining room.
Correct.
That's kind of it. I mean, I know it's super, super exciting.
That's it then.
That's it. We're good. Goodbye. Thank you all for coming.
Goodbye. All right. So this is Saturday, April the 12th. This is After the Show, your weekly movie review podcast. And on episode 886, we're looking at the movie The Monkey, hence the monkey joke. It's a 2025 release, out now on streaming, rated R. Its runtime is 1 hour and 38 minutes, and it's from our friends at Neon. Sid Talk, give us the synopsis of the movie, The Monkey.
First of all, you can't help but think of that song. Also, I have another song in my head that's driving me crazy, but...
Did we just get copyrighted?
No. If someone can figure that song out, I'll give him 2 points. Synopsis. An evil monkey torments these two dudes their whole life by killing people randomly. Is that it? That pretty much covers it.
All right, I'll give you the one off the box. When twin brothers, Bill and Hal, find their father's old monkey toy in an attic.
Don't call it a toy.
A series of gruesome deaths start. The siblings decide to throw the toy away and move on with their lives, growing apart over the years. That's a rubbish synopsis.
That is.
That's the end of the synopsis, by the way, as well. That's it. That's all that happens. They find a monkey toy and then they grow apart. The end.
That's kind of it.
I mean, there's also some other details.
There's a lot of blood involved, too.
Let's get on to it. The Monkey, the latest film by Osgood Perkins. What did you think?
I enjoyed it. I had a lot of laughs.
A lot of laughs.
A lot of laughs. And then, I don't know.
You sound like you've...
I have
you
a
want
question.
to say something else about
No, I don't know how to say it. It just sort of levels out. Do you know what I mean? Like
I agree.
There's these extreme punches of like gore, of course, because everyone who dies in a really crazy way. And there's blood,
It's, yeah.
And you have like extreme behavior from everyone with their reactions and they're over nervous. Well, him particularly. And then there's like the dip of... different.
I agree that the setup's really good. Like last week's movie, which had the setup was good. And
the setup is fine, except I don't like random, unknown bits of evil coming from nowhere and we don't know why. I think that's kind of lame.
That's a very Stephen King-y thing.
I think it's lazy, though. If you're going to tell me a story, tell me the story.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to say that death is killing everyone, like in... that movie about
Final Destination.
I'm on board with that. It is death. It exists in the universe as a force, and it's pissed off because you missed the plane, and now I'm coming for you. I totally get that. If it's some maniacal person who had a terrible childhood even though that's lame sometimes, I understand they have a motive. This is like, it's a monkey toy. Don't call it a toy. We've reminded many times. It has nothing. Now, if we're trying to start a franchise, like we did with What's-Her-Face, little Annabelle.
Yeah, I did see that this was executive produced by James Wan, Mr. Annabelle.
Right, and you totally get the vibe of a very shallow, I'm in it for the, and the sort of snobby intellectual giggles, and then that's it.
There's a couple of levels to the movie. One is it's just like a slapstick comedy horror film.
Got a lot of that, yeah.
Another level is saying like different things about death and life.
Absolutely.
In a profound way, but you have to kind of look for that stuff.
I think the profound moments are when mom is telling them everybody dies. So
or where the preacher is giving his little speech.
Well, I think the mom sums it up. Everybody dies. Let's go dance.
Yeah.
That's it. There's nothing you can do about it. So go have a good time.
And she tells her sons very specifically, some people will die nicely and some people will die horrifically and horribly.
Yeah.
And it'll happen to me, you, everybody. Let's go and dance. Yeah. So I like all that. There's some profound stuff. But then there's also, I liked the idea that this monkey, whenever it is set off, wound up and it does its little, bangs its drum, somebody's going to die horribly. So there were moments in the movie where you're like, what the hell's going to happen this time? Because they kind of ratchet it up each time, don't they? It's worse each time. And
but I never had that question because I started very quickly not giving a crap about what was going to happen.
I was just looking forward to the next incident.
Okay.
It did have that Final Destination. I don't give a crap about anybody in Final Destination. I'm just waiting for the next thing. Like all the characters are just throwaway.
Well, think about this. I don't care about the people, and I don't care about the next thing.
Right.
So
you don't like this movie?
I don't. No, that's not true. I don't dislike this movie. I enjoyed it.
See, I was just
and
looking forward.
And then there's like this question mark in my head, like,
I mean, there's a lot of cool kills, and surprisingly, for how bloody and disgusting all the kills are, they're always funny in oh God, that was ridiculous. Because they are ridiculous.
I don't know if they're funny or they make you laugh uncomfortably.
I don't know. I find them to be like, they're almost like Looney Tunes cartoon deaths.
True.
Like the girl who's jumping in the swimming pool, for instance.
Yeah.
It's like a series of events that happens. It's almost like watching The Roadrunner or something. It's silly.
Wile E. Coyote picks up a stick of dynamite and he blows up.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's how even the real estate lady felt like that. They're all just kind of very silly, over-the-top deaths. And people don't react to the deaths like they would. They're just like, yeah. And then they're on to another dialogue section or whatever. You know what I mean?
I guess it's because it's the main guy. He's the one who's always kind of around when people die.
Yes.
He's got either this overly reactive thing going on or I guess our main character, we have to say, is one of the twins, boys. Their mom dies. Their dad starts off the movie by trying to destroy the monkey. And then the mom, we find out that was the dad, but he disappeared. So we don't know. See, that's another thing that I didn't love. We know that he leaves. And he didn't die.
No.
And then we mention later the dad. And then this other weirdo guy from town has a dad who ran away. Is that supposed to be the other dad? It felt like that. Like he had ran away and gone over here and had another family. And then, I don't know, because we have no answer to that question, which drove me a little.
Yeah, there actually is not many answers to anything.
No.
Yeah.
And that I find, I can't.
And this is based on a Stephen King short story. And when I say short story, it's very short. So they have elaborated on it to even get more kills in the movie and stuff.
Sure.
Also, the short story is not a comedy. It's a very grim, dark tale. Like Stephen King.
Understandable.
Tales.
Yep.
And this takes it in another direction. It's just, this is like a slapstick. If you've seen Final Destination, it's that style. It just gets sillier, but there's some entertainment in it, right? Like, I don't mind seeing people get offed in weird ways. That's why I like horror movies. But sometimes, it can be, at the end, there's a bunch of things that happen. And I felt like it got worse towards the end. Like it wasn't even as creative anymore. It was just, like it went flat.
And because we're flat at the point of no new story, there's nothing new to tell, even by the middle of the story. We've established that one of the twin brothers is an asshole. From the time we meet him, he's just a jerk of a guy, even when he's a teenager. Picks on the other brother. The other brother who gets picked on ends up having a kid as an adult. We miss all that because we skip to the adulthood. He wants to keep his distance from everyone, so he's just alone all the time.
Yep.
And the brothers don't talk to each other, and
he's had a son at some point, and he doesn't even see the son.
He doesn't want to see him because he doesn't want to get attached or have an emotional thing. So it's really flat there. There's no even hint that the asshole brother isn't an asshole. We never get an opportunity to see that this guy has a reason for acting like an asshole or that he wants to be better. None of that. It's just a flat, Like there's no escalation or de-escalation of anybody's anything. It's just a flat, here's some people, here's this evil monkey, a bunch of people are going to die, and life is what it is because everybody's going to die. Anyway, that's the lesson, kids, and that's it. Now, I can appreciate that lesson.
Yeah.
I kind of have that philosophy myself. But I'm also a story snob. I think I'm deciding that I want the whole thing. It's not enough for me. It's like empty calories, right? Nowadays, I would love to sit down and eat a whole box of Twinkies because I love Twinkies. And yet I know for a fact in 10 minutes, and yeah, if you're questioning whether I can eat a whole box of Twinkies in one sitting, I can. I have in my life. It's a real thing. And then 5 minutes later, I don't have the like, oh, I'm so full. I'm like, oh, what can I eat next? And so that whole box of Twinkies is empty calories. It is for no purpose whatsoever, right? Except for tasting good in the moment. I'm not opposed to that. But I think I'm getting old enough now where in the stories I watch, I don't want just empty calories. I want it to, and when it's over, I want to be like, oh, get something out of it. And I didn't get anything out of it.
The only thing you really get out of this is just some horror entertainment, and it's okay.
And that's not enough.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay as far as the horror. I like the design of the monkey. I like how it was filmed. His previous film, Longlegs, was much better, I thought, because that one had like a creepiness to it. This one doesn't really. It's just silly.
I don't know about better.
I'm not creeped out by this movie, and Longlegs is creepy as shit.
Yeah, but Longlegs also loses a bit of, you know what I mean? If I remember correctly.
I didn't think so. I thought that was actually exceptional.
I don't think it's exceptional.
Longlegs, I think I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10. So, yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And it was an amazing performance by Nicolas Cage. Very, very strange. But this is nothing like that. It's like, it's in the horror genre, but it's nothing like that. It's not made to creep you out, really, this one. It's just it's not even made to jump scare you, is it? Because it doesn't do any of that.
It has a few where it seems like it's trying to be like, oh.
None of them got me then, because it was always telegraphed what something was going to happen, because the monkey was already drumming. You knew it was about to happen.
True. And like with the gun, you see the gun and it's going to fall.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
So like the element of suspense is gone on that. But I did have a laugh a few times.
Definitely had a few laughs.
And I was definitely felt like you. The third act of the movie, where it goes to the place where the brother is, I felt all that was really boring.
Yes, it just lost its...
Like it was like, oh, this was okay. And now I've kind of lost interest in the whole thing. Like the plot, what happens to the monkey.
Because that brother has no motivation other than... So the story is when they found the monkey in their father's stuff. Father's gone, it's been missing for how many years, right?
Yeah.
They find the monkey, they get it out, they turn the key. They just turn the key because they're kids and they don't know they don't know any different. The monkey does its thing, and then before you know it, one person dies, and then the key gets turned again, and the mother dies sort of randomly. So one of the twins now, for his entire life, is hell-bent on getting revenge on the other brother for turning the key to intentionally or causing their mother's death. That's it. But we don't see any like angst from it or like, you know what I mean? Even if the brother who get picked on all the time, if all of a sudden he would have a change of heart and turns out he was a real jerk.
Right.
And said, yes, I wanted mom to die. I wanted you to die. I was trying to kill everyone or whatever. Like anything that give you a little bit of grit or like, oh, okay, this is what got, but no, it's just a guy living in an abandoned building, dressing like the guy.
Everybody's got a shit haircut in this movie.
Yeah, so the guy from, who am I thinking of? The sensei from...
Like Johnny?
From...
Cobra Kai.
No. From Napoleon Dynamite. He's got the mullet, right?
Yes.
That sensei guy.
Yeah.
That's who he reminds me of.
Bow to your sensei.
Yeah, and they're ridiculous, but not ridiculous enough to be interesting.
Like every character is just like stupid. They're all like silly.
Kind of, which is unfortunate because you got a lot you can work with there, I think.
Yeah, like cartoon characters. Even like the real estate lady, while you're like, well, she was good. She's talking like she's off Family Guy or something. It's like
she's talking like a standard wacky real estate agent from every other wacky real estate agent character you've ever seen.
And that's how everybody comes across. The guy with the stupid fringe, you know, and with the bees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Extreme, but not extreme enough to make that the theme or the vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like if you've seen the movie Napoleon Dynamite, everybody in the movie, there's something a little off about them. But in that movie, it works.
It works.
Because
Yes.
you're like, that's what's lovable about all this, that everybody's slightly off. In this movie, everybody's slightly off, but there doesn't seem to appear to be a reason why they are. Like, there's no reason for them to look weird. Or
Everybody except mom's not weird. The good brother's not weird or
even
anything.
their dad at the beginning is a bit weird.
I didn't think so. He was just desperate. Obviously, we meet him when he's got blood all over him. The monkey's in his hands. He's trying to give it away to a guy in a pawn shop. That's all we know.
But I think the reason people look weird in this is because they think it's hilarious. And that's it. That's the only reason.
Again, I'm going to use this term again. Empty calories. It's a shallow kind of, you walk away going, oh, that was weird, but not weird enough.
We've actually picked it apart, haven't we? We like it less now.
I don't like it less. I like it equal amount because it was entertaining, like you said. It's just that I get to where I'm like, I get it. And looked good. It had some fairly decent special effects. I really did like the people in it. I loved the mom. I think the kids both did a great job when they were young, those two. And then our guy, when was it the same kid when they were younger? Or were they twins?
Oh, I actually don't know. No, there were two different kids.
One dude played the grown-up twins.
Yeah, dude played the grown-up and two different kids.
And he was fine, I'm going to say 75% of the time.
Yeah.
Then the other part of the time, it's just this sort of vapidness that kind of made me grit my teeth. His son was good, though.
Let's get on to the cast while we're talking about it.
Of course. That's where I'm going.
All right. Theo James is the guy who plays Hal, the grown-up. He plays both of them.
I don't like him.
You know who Theo James is. You've seen him in a billion things.
I don't.
Well, you don't watch romantic comedy stuff, and that's what he's in a lot.
Well, there you go.
He's also the main love interest in the Divergent movies, if you remember.
Oh, correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in The White Lotus. He's in a bunch of stuff. But he's generally, he's in a lot of romantic comedy where he's like Mr. Hunky Guy who somebody meets, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And in this, because he has to play two characters as an adult there, but it's not really a stretch, is it? But they're supposed to be very different from each other.
They are very different. So I'm going a different direction for you. I think he did a good job in portraying two different people,
right.
Not just because the haircuts were different, but yeah, I got a totally different vibe from each of them. It's just that, it still felt forced a little bit.
The best part of the movie is Tatiana Maslany. She is Lois, the mother, and she's the lady who played She-Hulk in the She-Hulk TV series.
She was really good.
She's my favorite thing in this whole movie.
Well, that's unfortunate. She doesn't last very long.
No, and I had a feeling that she wasn't going to last very long. And then, when she did that speech under the tree, that sold it for me. I thought that was awesome. We got Adam Scott. He's in it at the beginning from Severance. He plays the father. It's brief, right?
But good. I mean, you start the vibe off with this sort of quirky sarcasm-ish feeling.
It sets the tone for what is to come, doesn't it? Because you're like, okay, this is not serious. This is a silly thing. Because it is. And then Elijah Wood shows up as Ted. What was the point, really, in the Elijah Wood thing? It was
no point.
No point, and no payoff, and no nothing.
I mean, it is furthering the story that so he's separated himself from his son for the son's whole life, and the son seems to be about 15, 16 years old, right?
Yep.
And he sees his son once a year by his choice because he doesn't want to get too close or endanger his son.
Just in case, yeah.
So now the new stepfather is going to adopt the son, and that's it.
They make a couple of jokes about it, and then that's it. It's like literally just to set up a couple of jokes.
Yeah, and if he really wanted to keep his son safe, his first reaction would be like, absolutely 100%, I want you to adopt him so he never has to be around me again, if that's his actual motivation. But instead, he gets defensive about it, which doesn't make any sense.
Directed by Osgood Perkins. He is the son of Anthony Perkins, Psycho, and he did Longlegs. And he's been in a bunch of stuff as well, including Psycho 2 as young Norman Bates. So what do you think of his directing?
I like it. I feel like he's got something going on with his own, and you read about him, so we know if you were going to tell people about him, but it felt very
Oh, yeah. You tell the story.
Kind of bleak, and I agree with this bleakness, not bleak to me, but this attitude that life is what it is and death comes to everyone. And so why not just do your own thing, right? Well, his story is that in his actual life, his father was Anthony Perkins from Psycho, and he didn't know that his father had gay relationships. His father, if you don't know already, he got AIDS from a gay relationship. Yep. I mean, that's the truth of that particular relationship. And then he died. And then in 9/11, one of the planes that crashed into the buildings in Manhattan, Twin Towers, his mother died in one of those. And so for years after that, he was like, why do I have this to him bizarre, because he didn't know his father was gay.
Nope.
So to him that came out of the blue, like, what? And then the mother thing, of course, many other parents would have died on that day as well. But so he's gone through a journey of exploring ideas of death. So if you add that to this movie, it makes total sense. If you don't know that about this movie, you shouldn't have to know that. But I got the vibe, right?
Yeah.
That there is a bleakness, actual bleakness about it. And not like a joyful, like, hey, we should have a wonderful life because it's going to end vibe. It's more like, hey, it's all going to end, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
But I got that vibe, if that's what he was going for, instead of like, there's no optimism, there's no like positivity, other than he wants to take his son dancing at the end because that's what mom wanted to do, which is a nice thought. And I feel like that was homage to his mother in some way. I don't know that. I don't know this man. So that's a nice little thing, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, the directing part is, I wouldn't even say he's got like a specific kind of style or stamp, would you? Because it's pretty functional.
No, I think Longlegs might have had more of a
There's
interesting
a few,
look.
Yeah, I mean, that's cinematography and like art direction. But I mean, like deciding what, and this would be some of the cinematography, like where the camera's going to be.
This feels pretty basic.
Yeah, there's some shots where you're on the, from behind a gun or from behind a bowling ball or whatever for a split second, but not a lot of, direction there. Like, I shouldn't say that because we're talking about his directing skills, but
no,
you get what I'm saying.
All right. IMDb reviews. What are those?
Those are the reviews you're going to find on the IMDb movie database. And there's going to be 1 stars because people don't like things.
I couldn't find any 1 stars for last week's movie. So luckily this week, there's 40 1-star reviews.
Luckily for this movie, some people didn't like it.
All right. So the first guy says, this is the worst thing I have ever watched.
Of course. It's a classic.
From start to finish, it reeks of laziness, incompetence, and an absolute lack of self-respect. The writing is beyond awful. Whoever penned the script should reconsider their career. And the pacing is a disaster. And what really pisses me off is how low effort it all feels. I can't imagine anyone with a shred of taste liking this. You should just read the Stephen King short story.
Wow. I feel exhausted from that person's mind.
Yeah. Second guy says, boring. Movie is very boring. It's the most disappointing boring I have ever seen. The plot felt disjointed and lacked suspense and originality. There was no fear or no jump scares and a lack of attractive people.
What?
What's that all about?
What the hell? Well, that's just rude.
And the third person says, this film relies on shock humor and gore, both of which become stale after 20 minutes. The tone is somewhat akin to a children's TV program, with all the characters acting like a cartoon. The jokes are equally immature. They use swear words and gore to affect to punchline tense moments. Yes, they do that.
Cartoon is a good description. Like we said,
yeah.
They wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, it's a Looney Tunes come to life,
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Not fully. I don't want to oversell that idea, but it's not far from it.
Yes. So extras, we didn't see any because we watched the streaming version. Conclusion, I'm going to give The Monkey a 5 out of 10.
And I was going to give it a 6.7, but I think I'm going to 6.5.
All right. And as you know, I don't give points, so I'm giving it 5.
You mean percentages?
No, I'm giving it right in the middle. There's some, I feel like horror and gore and a bit of splatter and...
There's a lot of horror going on.
Comedy. comedy horror. If you like that kind of thing, maybe you'll
I
get
disagree.
something.
I don't think it's horror.
No?
Nope. There's no explanation for the cause of
Gore,
the
then.
evilness. Yes, there's blood,
A lot.
explosions of heads and things.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you to Neon. Next week, we're looking at Jack Quaid's second movie of the year. Apparently, he's made quite a few movies this year. We've already seen one. Do you remember it?
I don't.
Companion,
Yes, of course.
which was excellent.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So Jack Quaid, new movie, Novocaine. We're going to see that next week.
Okay.
Movie recommendations. I am going on the theme of this. My first one's a bit of a cheat. Just recently, I read 3 Stephen King novels, hard case crime novels. I read all 3 of them, and I would recommend those. They were short stories, like a couple of 100 pages each. I would recommend those as really cool Stephen King stories.
I don't mean to pretend like I don't know this. I know that you.
Yeah, I haven't read a lot of Stephen King novels, but those 3 that I read back to back made me want to read more. And my other one is Osgood Perkins' Longlegs, which I really, really, really loved. If that was a 9 and this was a 5, it's a real, like, I don't know. I think it's the abrupt change of everything. Because this movie, the only thing that's similar is it's got blood in it, right?
Yeah.
Or violence. And I prefer Longlegs.
Aye, because it's creepy and weird.
Yes.
Yes, I get you. And a little bit of suspense. And mine are, I'm going back to the 20th century, or at least the beginning of all of cinema, and moving my way through of all the horror movies, which they may not all be horror to me, but they're in the horror category. Horror category. And I'm up to the 1980s. So I've got The Evil Dead, 1981.
It's a good one.
One of your faves of all time.
Yes.
Then I have The Thing and The Poltergeist. Not The Poltergeist, just Poltergeist from 1982.
The Thing is ridiculously good too.
Is it though? We'd have to see it again.
Yeah.
Jaws 3D from
That's not good.
1983. You know what? I really loved that movie when I watched it. I used to get on VHS because I worked in a store and we had tapes so I could take them home. So I'd take like 5 or 6 tapes home of a night, put them in, let them play through the night, like while I was trying to sleep or whatever, and then pack them up and take them back to the store the next day because the lady who owned the store said you could take them home and watch them. You don't have to pay for them as long as you bring them back the next day. So I did. So I watched Jaws 3D probably 50 times.
Was it in 3D?
Not on my... This was 1990
Yeah, but
something.
they had those red and green glass things.
Absolutely
glasses.
not. No way, no way. I mean, the only thing blurring my vision would have been how much alcohol I was drinking. So,
So maybe it was in 3D.
and then Cujo of 1983 also.
I like Cujo. It's a good
I
one.
did then, but I think now I'd get really irritated. It's just one of those relentless.
That is
I
one of the Stephen King books I have read. I've read a few. I've read
I
Carrie.
wouldn't like it now, I don't think.
I've read Carrie, Cujo, and Misery.
Mhm.
Those are ones I read when I was younger. I actually got all of Stephen King's books recently and put them on my Kindle. And I mean, that's a big deal. It could take your whole life to read all those, right?
Absolutely.
You're right. He does like 1,000-page books, you know. Some of those books are long. So I'll try to read them all before I leave the mortal coil.
Stephen
All right.
will appreciate it, I'm sure.
All right, Ace Scully stuff. I've been playing a new expansion pack this week for American Truck Simulator. We always talk about American Truck Simulator when a new pack comes out. And why this one is very special is it's the Missouri expansion pack.
And why is that special? Because that's where we live.
That's where we live. So Sid Talks knows a lot about this one because she was interested.
Well, it happens to include a town in my home county.
It does.
And a town that I'm very familiar with because it's right up there.
So the first thing I did was get my truck into Missouri and drive to all the places that we know of.
And it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Now, I had one thing I actually emailed to the company about. But other than that, and I'm sure that they won't give a shit and no one will even read that email, and that is fine, but I had to get it off my chest.
Oh, yeah. Did you not get a reply?
No. I don't believe I will.
They're probably too busy making the next one.
Yeah, and they don't care. They can't care about every detail. But they did make the effort to make this house in the town,
Yeah.
say museum on it. And my mother was very involved in that museum, and it's very inaccurate. And so I had to pull the nerd card and send them a very nice
The
note about
city
it.
we live in, all the things that
where
we're familiar
we live
with.
is in it, yeah.
Even the trail that we go mountain biking down, we could see it in the distance there.
You couldn't see the trail. You just saw a building,
Where the trail is.
farmhouse. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. It's not like Google Maps. You're not driving around your neighborhood, but it's a.
No, it literally takes. So there's a town nearby that takes about 35 minutes to get to, and it takes about
a minute and a half,
maybe, if that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's almost like you're teleporting because you get like you come out of our town across a bridge, and then you drive 35 minutes, and then you appear in another town. Well, in this, you're like go over the bridge, and then the next thing you're like, oh shit, we're there. I wish it happened like that in real life. That'd be really cool.
Me too.
Yeah. So yeah, it's basically the whole of Missouri. You can drive around. I've not been everywhere yet, by the way.
Good.
All we did was go to the places we knew, and I didn't even pick up any cargoes. I was just driving around just to look at the places. So next time.
And what you discovered was there are hidden roads that actually go somewhere.
Yeah, because we went to Lake of the Ozarks, and we thought, oh, this is as far as you can go here. But we went around the back of it, and there was a hidden road. It took you past a marina type place. So I didn't know there was hidden roads, and I've never encountered one. Maybe this is new for the Missouri map. Maybe. Or
you just never go anywhere you don't think you should go.
Now, every 3 or 4 months or so, they bring out a new expansion pack, and the map is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. What I want to do one day is pick up something on the left-hand side of the map and take it all the way to the right, like the furthest you can go.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be cool. So American Truck Simulator Missouri, it is $9.99 on Steam. And I think if you're into this game, it's a no-brainer, isn't it, to get the map packs?
Well, yeah.
I mean, after a while, you're like, especially when it's your town, your state, why wouldn't you get the expansion pack?
Well, because people get snotty like me and go, well, that's not right. You didn't do it right. I don't actually care if they change it, but
to me, the thrill of it, even just a small thrill of it, is I'm driving and then I see a sign that says where I live.
True.
Like literally like heading to where I live. Like it's good enough for who it's for. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I know what that means.
All right, Sidto, what's for dinner?
A sandwich of some kind, I'm going to say.
Subway.
Either Subway or Jimmy John's. Or Taco Bell, which isn't a sandwich.
No.
So maybe not. I don't know. One of those.
I like the Subway. That's my...
I know you do, but we've had it like 4 or 5 times recently, so get over it. We might have something different.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, don't put it on there then.
Well, it's a question mark. It's a thought.
All right, Sidto, what's your advice? Let's get out of it.
Well, this isn't advice. My advice isn't advice, of course, because true advice, I think, and I haven't looked up the definition, I'm making this up, but it's like when you share your experiences or ideas or some solutions to problems or options for different things about a life situation when someone comes to you and they're having a similar life situation, right? You're sharing options, ideas. Hey, this is what happened to me. You're kind of like putting it out there like, oh, here, in my little universe, this is what happened. This turned out good. This turned out bad, whatever. I think what a lot of people think advice is that you tell somebody what to do. You expect them to do it, but you pretend you don't expect them to do it. But when they don't do it, you get your little feelings hurt. And then you blame them for everything that goes wrong, right? That's not advice. That's your ego. That is your ego trying to control somebody's life. And you think, oh, but I've got good intentions. No, you don't. You want to tell them what to do. And when they don't do it, you will blame them for not, quote unquote, taking your advice. So that's it.
That's short advice.
It's
Sidto.
very short because it's not advice.
All right. Thank you, Sidto. ascully.com. That's the place you can go to pick up this podcast. We're also on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, YouTube, anywhere you can get a podcast, we're there. You can also catch us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky. You can catch me on most places, ascully, and Sid Talk is Sid Talk. Email feedback to me, ascully@ascully.com. Do not email Sid Talk. She does not want your emails. And stay classy, Osgood Perkins. I mean, it was a hit with the first one. It was slightly a miss with the second one. Let's see what the third one brings.
Good attitude. And I'm going to say, think for yourself. Because if you're not doing it, someone's doing it for you.